Hello everyone, welcome to your maths e-learning class, and this is Mr. Volcano. You all know me. Now, how was your weekend? Hope you had fun, hope you enjoyed yourself and you rested well. Let's get started for this week's activities.
Late last year during winter vacation, Dad got us our dog, Multiplication. He's really a good dog, but sometimes makes trouble. Like the day I woke up, I noticed he doubled. Two dogs were there, I yelled double the fun. I had a big grin, that was 2 dogs times 1. That's 2 times 1 doggy, say 2 times the 1. 2 times 1 doggy is double the fun.
Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, now you're in trouble. Multiply by 2, and now you double.
Now 2 dogs were cool, wasn't sure about more, but the very next day I saw there were 4. That's 4 dogs for playing, 4 noses to sneeze, 4 bowls of dog food, 4 dogs to get fleas, 4 fish toys for fetching, 4 leashes, 1 blue, and 8 doggy eyebrows, that's 4 times a 2. 2 times 2 doggies, that's 2 times a 2. 2 doggies for me and 2 doggies for you.
Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, now you're in trouble. Multiply by 2, and now you double.
4 dogs were a lot, but the fun was still great till the very next morning I saw there were 8. That's 8 dogs for walking, my greatest of fears. That's 32 dog legs and 16 dog years. Yes, 2 times my 4 dogs was equal to 8. Now things weren't really so doggy dog great. That's 2 times 4 doggies, that's 2 times a 4. It gave me 8 doggies, I hope there's no more.
Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, now you're in trouble. Multiply by 2, and now you double.
I really thought 8 dogs were more than enough, but the very next morning I heard 16 off Ross. He doubled again the very same way. I had 8 brand new doggies that wanted to play. At 64 paws and 60 long tails and 32 eyes and lots of toenails. 2 times 8 doggies, that's 2 times an 8. 2 times 8 doggies, that's 2 many's 8 now.
Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, now you're in trouble. Multiply by 2, and now you double.
Having so many dogs was an awesome fun ride, and don't get me wrong, I love dogs by my side, but 16 fun dogs was too many at times, so I thought multiplication had a divide. I was left with just 1 dog, Multiplication, and went back to enjoying my winter vacation.
Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, that's my dog. Multiplication, now you're in trouble. Multiply by 2, and now you double.
Wow, that was fun. Now let's get started into the real things of the day. We know our class rules. I'm not really going to sit down and read it for you again because we've always been working on it. Remember, do not leave while the lesson is in progress. And lastly, ensure you use the toilet before the class. Quote of the day. This is a quote, words full of wisdom, that someone important said and can make the reader get inspired. This is from Mr. Volcano. Now, do you know the word fraction comes from the Latin word fractio, which means to break? You've learned something today. Fractio means to break. Fractio means to break. Now let's see something. Introduction to fractions. Are you ready to go on the ride? Let's do it together. And what are we learning to do today? Ordering, equivalent. Now we want us to model it out together. We might just start with ordering of fractions alone today. Then after today, the next presentation will talk more on equivalent fractions. Our keywords. equal, same, ascending, descending, more words to know, proper, improper, mixed, numerator, denominator. All those things are things for fractions. Now, in the previous class, can you read this? We talked about a fraction, types of fractions. Talk about numerator, denominator, and whole numbers. And you can see it. I'm giving you some seconds to read this right up on the board to yourself. Now let's see the class data and see what it's about, what this lesson is actually about, what is actually explaining to us. Look at the picture for 3 minutes. I'm going to leave you, pause the video for 3 minutes. Look at the picture and what kind of fraction is the picture explaining about. Pause the video for 3 minutes. Pause it for 3 minutes and see yourself. Then let's go to the major thing of the day. Ordering of fractions. Now, do you know why I brought the multiplication into it? I'll show you why 6 is very important when it comes to fraction. The multiplication table of 6, very important when it comes to fractions.
Comparing and ordering fractions with different denominators. When we study fractions in math, an essential skill we all learn is to put fractions in size order. This shows that we understand how big one fraction is compared to another. I hope you've already compared some fractions like this. Here, 4/5 is greater than 1/5. And this is easy for us because the denominators are the same. But you will usually be asked to compare fractions with different denominators. Let's say we have to compare these fractions. We have to put them in order from least to greatest. We think our way through the problem. One strategy is to use fraction strips. Remember, fraction strips are all the same length. First, we check the denominators. 2 and 4 are both factors of 8, so all the fraction strips can be 8 centimeters long. I do the fraction with the largest denominator first. Always use a ruler to make your fraction strips. No freehand lines, please. It's math, not art. One fraction strip, 8 centimeters long, or 8 squares long, if you happen to have squared paper in your math book. Each centimetre is 1 part out of 8. Now I colour in the fraction value 5/8. If you colour in your fraction strips carefully, it looks great in your math book. Next, I go to 3/4. We know the fraction strips all have to be the same size, so I make another strip 8 centimetres long in line with the last strip. The denominator is 4, so I say 8 divided by 4, that gives me 2 centimetres for each part. 4 parts, each part is 1/4. Then I colour in 3/4 on the fraction strip. Last, I do the fraction with the smallest denominator, the half. 8 centimetres divided in 2 tells me each half is 4 centimetres long, and I colour my half. Because these fraction strips are lined up vertically, we can see easily which is biggest and smallest. I'd like you to set out your work like this too. Then we simply write a math statement of what we found, using the appropriate math sign. The problem said put the fractions in order from least to greatest, so don't get it wrong now. Start small and go large. 1/2, then 5/8, then 3/4. Now we put in the signs that tell about the size relationship. And there we have it. 1/2 is less than 5/8, which is less than 3/4. You have seen that when we have fractions with different denominators, we can use fraction strips to compare them and discover their relative sizes. Then we list the fractions in size order as the problem tells us. And we use the greater than or less than sign to tell about their sizes. Now it's your turn to use this method and work your math muscle. There are also other ways to compare fractions. Next time, we'll compare fractions on a number line.
Now we'll see what ordering of fractions and comparing of fractions are. It involves arranging numbers from the smallest to the biggest. From the smallest to the biggest, or you can do it the other way around. Or you can do it the other way round. Now let's do one or two things with ourselves. For the activity on ordering of fraction. Now an 8-ounce cup of milk was served. Now I'd like you to pause the video here and solve this yourself. Now it's a mental maths question for you to just do things with your brain and bring it out yourself. 8-ounce cup of milk was served to each of 3 children. Lisa drank 7 ounces of milk. Her sister Angie drank 3 ounces, and her brother Mark drank 5 ounces. Now that means Lisa drank 7/8, Angie drank 3/8, and Mark drank 5/8. Now the question now says what part of the cup did each of them drink? In fraction, 7/8, 3/8, and 5/8. Now you will now do this with an adult who drank the smallest part of the cup, who drank the largest part, who drank the middle, who fell in the middle. Now you can arrange it from the smallest to the biggest. We call that ascending, or from the biggest to the smallest, we call that descending. And you can circle the fraction in the middle. Thank you very much. Now at the end of everything, we can identify equivalent fractions. We can solve fractions with same denominator. We can solve fraction of numbers with same numerator. We can compare fractions even in word problems, just like the previous example activity we just did. Now thank you very much. This was produced by Mr. Volcano for Tender Years Preparatory School. Thank you. And have a nice time.